Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, for those watching at home on YouTube, let's get ready to PvP. So we are here for the weekly Thursday night fights. I believe this is now episode 16. The notepad is stuck in its usual spot, so we do not see the conditional of the previous PvP season. And we are going to jump right into today's fight set we're going to do. It is going to be a theme based around energy damage and radiation. I could be going for Pepsi to go along with Iron Man on this one. However, I'm choosing to go with Captain Marvel because her level 1 is energy based and it hits for quite a bit. Plus, she has some versatility in that she can do some tanking. And I am using Iron Man for his energy damage over here. If things were a little bit different, I would probably have Havoc in here, because so much of what he does is energy based. However, in the Spec Ops that I would have recruited Havoc, it bugged out a little bit and I did not wind up recruiting him, despite the fact that the task completed. And then the same thing happened to Pim during Wednesday's Twitch stream. I've confirmed with the team that this is a bug that has already been fixed. There is a version of the game called 5.10, which is even newer than the one that I have. I have 5.9. The devs are working on 5.10, so there is a version out there that is even newer than mine, and that issue is fixed in 5.10, but that isn't even at the closed beta level. That is strictly at the development level. So as usual, we have to give the disclaimer that this is not going to be on a mobile version. This is closed beta 5.9. No, you cannot have it. It is only for the beta testers. Also, you will see differences between 5.2 and 5.9 because this is a more advanced version by 3 notches. There's been 5.5, 5.6, and 5.9, which have all been released for closed beta testing. There is no ETA yet on 6.0. However, several members of the development team have publicly talked about what's been going on with them and where some of the delays are. One of the biggest ones was Goofy dealing with some family health issues throughout the summer and early fall, and he's only had a reprieve recently. So he is stated that he is back at work on the project and had to take some time off to deal with some family issues. Cosmic Cardinal is in on this one, as is the Radian Cannon, the Radian Rifle, and the Baltag's Blaster. The rifle is here basically to do ambient charge, which collects energy being used around it and funnels it into the Radiant weapons, which is itself and the Radiant Cannon. So that's what we're going on this one. The agent is in a infiltrator suit, and Iron Man and Captain Marvel are in blasters. I could go Bruiser in this particular uniform, and I would have infiltrator, Bruiser, and blaster, so I would have a lot of coverage of some classes and have some good counters, but I'm basically sticking with infiltrator to counter any tacticians that the team might see. So we're on the hook for 5 matches. Let's go ahead and do it. And like I said, I'm not using War Machine on this one because I would rather use him as Pepsi, and I do not have that uniform unlocked yet. And the 21 gun salute is energy based in that particular suit, whereas right now it is basically bullet based. So we're going to go with Captain Marvel. All right, Psylocke and Quicksilver. So we're facing a Quicksai, and this is not particularly unusual. She will probably be an infiltrator. He's a scrapper. So my agent is in a little bit of trouble, but that is about it. Since I do not have any radiation exposure out yet, Iron Man is going to open up with the burning missiles. And some pretty sizable damage there. That's not bad to do 1,000 and change right off the bat from an AoE. Quicksilver goes with the tag team. There may be some energy over there. I'm going to start off with Captain Marvel doing absorb energy. So if there is any energy attacks over there, it'll go to her and it'll actually heal her. We've got a momentum generator. So Quicksilver is going to be more of a pest. And we have a Warbringer axe. Yikes. And it did some pretty good damage. There are no tacticians, so I don't have any obvious targets. I'm going to use the Baltag's blaster from the PIM Spec Ops. This is a Kang piece of gear, and I'm going to hit the enemy agent. Hopefully, being an energy attack, I should get... Yep, there's the ambient charge. That's what I'm hoping for. Sadly, though, my agent is in some really, really rough shape. Hopefully Psylocke does not go for him. She uses a kinetic shield on the agent, which is smart. He is the lowest, and that is actually my target. And killing him should remove the Warbringer axe passive. However, it does not right now, which is a little bit of a bug, but yeah. And I don't honestly think I'm supposed to get hit by a second blast from the past there. Alright, let's get rid of Quicksilver. Yikes. Wow. Solid hit from Miss Marvel over there. Excessively solid hit, really. The Cosmic Cardinal has not procced, so my... Actually, yes, it has, because Cosmic Energy is there. Let's go ahead and use the Radiant Cannon. Reasonable damage. And so you see my agent having an extra turn here. This is not something crazy that you're missing. The Cosmic Cardinal, for some reason, is giving people extra turns when they have Cosmic Energy. It has been super, super handy, and it's prompted me to pitch an idea to the team that perhaps we can get a special weapon that increases the team's chance of getting a extra turn. By it being a special functionality item, it is balanced because you were taking one of your 4 or 5 slots for later in the game and dedicating it to something that you can't actually use. You have to rely on its passive. So basically something like the Cosmic Cardinal, which does, it counters, does like a little bit of minor damage, but then has a chance of giving your characters or your fellow heroes a chance at a extra turn. Yep, kind of figured that would smoke her. Agent got in some trouble there, a lot of trouble, but he was about the only one. So one away, I would say Miss Marvel was the star of that one, but the agent definitely held his own. Okay, so we have a psychic team. We have a Bruiser who's going to protect. That is good for us. We have Emma as a tactician, which is bad. And Psylocke as an infiltrator, which is nothing. I'm going to start by going for the enemy agent, obviously. And I am going to open up with the radiation exposure of the Baltag's blaster. These guys have some good bonuses somewhere because their hit points are a little bit higher than mine, especially the enemy agent. I think I want to get the enemy agent out there as soon as possible, so then... yeah, but there is some energy attacks over there. I think this turn, I'm going to use Photon Blast. Okay, good decision. I was kind of setting up Iron Man for a Unibeam finish over there with the lock on, but apparently it was not needed. Now we need to walk around Emma, so let's Unibeam Psylock. Pre-counter side bolts, relatively low damage for that. There have been times where I've seen it stack pretty high. I should have actually attacked Emma to get my infiltrator reflexes going, but Because of the extra turn, I'm afforded that opportunity. But, okay. Pretty reasonable damage there. At this point, I know they're going to die. Miss Marvel would kill somebody, but I am going to go ahead and do the absorb energy to see if she would actually tank anything from Emma. But because of the random extra turn, yeah, sure, why not do both things? This has been a little easy for me in that I don't have to make decisions, I just get to do both. Let's stack the Unibeam a little bit further. Reasonable, almost up there at 5k. Diamond Body is going to negate some of that damage. My ambient charges are gone because I used the Radian Rifle, which counts because the Radian Rifle is a Radian weapon, like the cannon. Okay. Pretty easy. A lot easier than fight number 1. Hard to say who is really the standout on that one. I think it was pretty balanced. Ooh, the Havoc and Britain team. We've seen this team before. 2 weeks ago, Havoc positively decimated a member of my team, and then last week we got revenge where Storm's Shroud negated his big hit, and we laughed at it, and then we took care of him after that. There are no tacticians this time, and they have a scrapper against my infiltrator, but there is a bruiser. That's good for our blasters. Basically, this is a setup of pressure points and an exploit of Paragon Exploiter. That's what this team is set to do. And Captain Marvel, with the add-on attack out of nowhere. I'm not running a Coulson's, but she seems to be gaining an Avengers passive off of Iron Man. Wow, that was a lucky shot. It makes some of the decision-making here a bit easier. I'm not going to attack the enemy agent because he's a scrapper, so let's go on Havoc, and maybe Miss Marvel will get the absorb energy going, and if he tries to do something big, she may just wind up absorbing it. Okay, like that. What you're seeing there, that was hyper combat. That's because the enemy agent used the signpost, which bugs the game a little bit. He has stolen my baltag's blaster in appearance, and there's a little bit of a drop shadow going on over there. Also, a lot of things sort of just happened at once. And you can see it just caught up to some damage over there. Honestly, Havoc and the enemy agent are as equal. Oh my god. They are equally as threatening at this point. However, I think this can take out the enemy agent. Alright, good. Just enough damage to get him out of there. And that means she's still on absorb energy. She's still on absorb energy. So if Havoc tries to rip up something that isn't an AoE, she might tank it. She did not get the kill. You dear. Okay. I was about ready to say Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel has the upper hand here, because no matter what he does, it's going to be energy based, and she's going to absorb it, and she just chewed up a big plasma wave. Yeah, wow. Okay, so Miss Marvel back to being the star on that one. 2 more to go. So this has been pretty cool tonight that we haven't had a duplicate team yet. We're looking at Bruiser Thor, Tactician, Agent, and Bruiser Valkyrie, so generally favors me. However, they have a Tactician, but I have an Infiltrator. She is going to protect, which means at least in the beginning, the Agent is going to be the target. They are Asgardian, so they don't burn, which means the missile barrage isn't really going to mean anything. So that means pretty much going to have to piss off a tactician. But at least we're going to do it in style with the Unibeam. And pretty okay. I will absolutely take that. Let's go for Valkyrie first, since she is... Oh my god. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep, totally speechless at that one. An extra attack out of nowhere. Wow. Yeah, that Cosmic Cardinal added to a huge hit for Miss Marvel. That was unexpected. I mean, I kind of figured she would do really big damage with the level 1, even with a bruiser on the other side. I knew she would get high damage, but not near fatal damage over there. And then the Cosmic Cardinal just procced in our favor. That was completely ridiculous. I can only imagine what she would do to Thor now with radiation exposure. You know what? We're going to hand it to her. We're going to give her the ball. We're going to get locked on Thor. He does not have the Oh, he's immune to radiation. Okay. Well, he has locked on, so stand back, everybody. This might be even more violent than the Valkyrie one. It's about the same. Wow. Okay, so this is really going to be the... This is the Miss Marvel week. She is smacking face. And now we are back to Psylocke and Quicksilver. I will go for the agent, since we want to avoid Quicksilver in the beginning. And we do want to pretend we can get rid of that Warbringer axe. Psylocke goes, and then it's Miss Marvel, which is a good turn order for me, because he now has the radiation exposure. And Miss Marvel will attack with the level 1. Unless she dies to a Quicksilver hit en route, she's probably going to kill the agent. Oh, mate. Oh. Okay. She didn't. But she pulled in the necessary proc off the Cosmic Cardinal. So, you know that phrase from Mockingbird, may the odds ever be in your favor? They certainly seem to be in the favor of us over these last 2 matches here. Now, ideally, running Iron Man Mark 42 would be good, because you could get burning and bleeding out of him. He has been in this uniform because he's been paired up with a bunch of other movie Avengers, so I've just been sticking with that uniform. That's an okay blast from the past. I've seen worse. That's not really that bad. And, okay. Let's hit him with the comically oversized radian cannon. Okay. Dies to dots thanks to the burning. Medium hit over there, but locked on is applied, and she gets the extra turn off of the Cosmic Cardinal. Yeah, wow. Okay. This week was short and fast. Sometimes it be like that. This was a super fast week and a super impressive week for Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, however you want to refer to her there. Yeah, super good damage. Gear that's not necessarily that hard to get by the time you get to the Havoc Spec Ops and the Pym Spec Ops. It would be pretty easy to get this particular gear. Basically, you have 2 pieces doing radiation exposure. You have the Radiant Rifle, which is feeding extra damage to the Radiant Cannon. That's basically the application of it. Iron Man gives you ambient charge. Miss Marvel gives you ambient charge, because what we were doing was only her level 1. The rest of her kit does not fit what the team was about over here. Now, we did see a momentum generator, and technically speaking, she could, with at least one move, take advantage of the momentum generator on the other side. I truly question, so this has come up on some streams lately. We may as well talk about it briefly, since this has been a quick episode. I really wonder what Playdom was thinking sometimes in their classification of abilities. With Kree Strike, she flies at the enemy and has her hands out ahead of her, meaning the hands make contact before anything else. The same would be true of Rogue in her, technically like her Southern Comfort. But look here, melee and unarmed, melee, unarmed. It's so weird to think of the, like, absorb power. She walks up to the person, or she flies up to the person, hovers over them, and takes away their class, or absorbs their class, maybe gets a stun. She's using her hands. Why is it not unarmed? It is, like here, Beast is using his hands, but also his claws. Now, yes, his claws are a feature of his hand, but we've seen cases where some other things are just strictly considered to be melee, yet not melee unarmed. And this came up because we were talking about Juggernaut. Unarmed melee, melee. I guess it's not unarmed because he's using his head or his helmet on that one. I think melee unarmed. Yeah, same thing over here. Bunker Buster, he's using a part of his body. It is his feet. He's slamming the grounds, but I guess you could really say it's a foot attack, not a ground attack. But why is it not unarmed? He is not using a weapon. It's just interesting how Playdom decided that. So, okay, here's Save the Queen, which is a twisting, flying, hands out move. So the hands are making contact first. Why is this one unarmed melee? But yet when we go and look at Captain Marvel in a similar flying move, Kree Strike is melee and not unarmed. Again, neither one of the two of them are using a weapon. Why are they not both unarmed melee? I will put this to the team to see if they ever are going to consider giving abilities like this a pass and seeing if there is a logic that they feel should apply and negate what Playdom initially had planned out. But it could be interesting to see if they would ever come and update these things and follow what we would consider just sort of a basic logic. So that is it for me tonight, guys. Thursday Night Fights, pretty quick. I would definitely have to say the hero has been Miss Marvel. There were a couple matches there where everybody was balanced and doing their own thing, but when there was a standout, the standout was Miss Marvel. So hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you Tuesday over on Twitch, where we will largely be starting the Vision Spec Ops. And that is it for me. So have a great weekend and stay safe, everybody.